Well, got the grass mowed in the corn around the trees. We decided to mow it off. The hay from that I had the bee's nest in, here's most of it around the squash. We're going to soak it down good tomorrow evening with water, because it ain't rained in a while, and well, we need to water the garden. Wife planted garlic down through there, replanted spinach, get some more. That's collards. That mess there is carrots, and then the cabbage. The 4 on the end, 3 of them's doing real good. The potatoes are starting to, sweet potatoes are vining. Peas are forming good. Waiting on them to fill. I mean, they're loaded. Bloom and everything else. Beans are looking good. Gonna have to put something a little taller in, give them some hay twine. Potatoes are about ready. Well, she dug some this evening. You know, good baseball size. She dug one on the hill. Got some pretty baseball size red potatoes, because she likes the red ones. Got the mowing around the garden done anyway. After putting the hay up, that video was earlier today. Decided to come up here and mow this out and put that hay down. And what this is going to do, we put it heavy. It ain't really a weed barrier. That ain't what I want it for. When I soak this down though, tomorrow evening with water, this old hay is going to hold that moisture in around my squash. Or at least I'm hoping it is. And if it don't, I can always rake it off. But I'm going to try it. Tomatoes are growing pretty good. If you can see them. Everything looks green. Onions. Purple potatoes have took off. And the corn, I think we know what's wrong. We had put a load of manure out of the barn that hadn't burnt down but just a couple months. And I believe it was too hot. And it had some cleanings from the chicken coop from back in the winter and whatnot in it, and it was just too hot, and it was mostly down on that end, and I think it just burnt my corn up. Or it could have been old seed, I don't know. But the garden's looking good. The apple trees are looking real good. They just need some water. The little apples are growing on a couple of them. Like here. You got some bugs that's starting to work on them a little bit. This one I thought just had 1 on it. It's got 2. You ain't supposed to count them, it's an old saying, but got 1 right there. And then got another one. It's right there. These others, they haven't done anything yet. Step over the fence and go ahead and turn the charger on. There we go. She's popping. I hear it somewhere. Yep. And I leave it popping. Loaded the tiller up. Round 2 on it. I believe it's a carburetor. So I'm gonna get the model number and type number and all that off the engine. It's still on it. Order me a new carbonator. See if that helps. Now I think I'm gonna work on this a while this evening. Wife's gone to one of her friends' house to look at a rooster for her. It's only 7:30. Ain't nobody here but me. Well, youngest girl might be home, I don't know. She didn't have to work today. She moved home. I really do like having her home. Walk down here and see. Finn, the dog, he's up here chasing the rabbits. There's only 5 or 6 that I seen tonight. Down in here in this shell. Look at the blackberries. Right over in there. Too bad they're in my way. Little raspberries right here. Grapevine. Everywhere. Up in here. And I'd seen on it, it was going to make this year. Wild grapes. So that's pretty cool. Might be able to get us some wild grapes to eat. If you hear the birds. The brush pile's still here. I'm waiting on some weather to come, but I'm afraid it's getting ready to turn off very hot and very dry. Especially since everybody done their hay now. Or is doing their hay. I have a feeling it's getting ready to really dry up and get pretty hot. But I hung back, stayed up here, worked. I did let it cool off a little bit, but not much. See where I dumped the tractor bucket. The honeysuckles done bloomed out for the year. And it's Father's Day weekend. Well, matter of fact, it's the eve of Father's Day, I guess. Got the mower set high where I was going down the roads. But and the chestnut trees down here. Sounds like a wife's home. I can hear music barreling. These chestnut trees are blooming so heavy it's done bent them over. 2 out of 3 bloomed. So that wasn't bad. If you can see the bloom, it is loaded with bloom. And then the little one down there don't have as much, but it's smaller. It's not as mature, but it's got him bent over, which is growth that already bent him over. And I know why I've got rabbits now, and I never did before. Past 3 years, we've had a few rabbits. This year, we've got a bunch of rabbits. And I think it's because I cut all this off. I clear cut this to a point. I left just the value trees, the walnuts, and an oak or 2. And took everything else off. And I kept it cleared off for 2 years. And then I let it go. And the reason I let it go was habitat, wildlife habitat. Because I wasn't ready to fence. I still ain't. Not all of it. And now they've got habitat. And that's why they're in here. We've got a lead on some sow hogs now. Here local. Close to us. So we're going to go check them out here very soon. May get one for freezer camp and one for Walter. That way we can have some piggies here. Maybe fall. or winter. I hate to have them in winter, but you know, it is what it is. I can always put in a heat lamp. I've got enough. No, I don't. I'd have to get some deep cycle batteries. And then I could put up a solar charger on the barn and keep them charged. And just put an inverter down there. And run me a couple heat lamps for them. The squash is starting to bloom over here. And yeah, I know. Smothered out. No, it won't. We didn't put it like that. We just put it around them. And when dew falls tonight, what you see stuck up here fluffed up will mash down. And then when we water it tomorrow evening about this time, about 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, after it cools off, it'll help hold moisture in there. But I'm thinking very seriously of, I don't know. I may put a tote up here where I cut out that little notch. I may set a tote right there and just fill it up with water. And then run the garden hoses off from there. That'll give pressure on that much of a drop to where we can water this. And no, I don't like the tiller a lot because it disturbs the root of the plants. Like the corn, you know, you get right up on the edge like I did the first time, and that's before it grew like this. And you're starting to get into the roots of the actual corn. So, I think I'm just going to let it go like it is. I don't mind some weed. But we'll see. It's an experiment. But that's our Saturday evening. So I'm gonna jump on the little Johnny Deere, throw my mower in the bed of the truck and get it ready to go back to the house. And then I think I'm gonna play with this a little while. I don't know. I might not. It's been a long day. But we'll see what we get into tomorrow. We may see you tomorrow. Getting into something. We might work on the truck. I know it's not been on here for a while now. I haven't done a whole lot to it. I need to go ahead and get the transmission in it. And I need to check the brakes on the Buick because, God help us, our youngest is legal to drive now as of today. Went and got his driver's license at the DMV this morning. The paper copy. And the hard copy will come in the mail. He passed the 11th grade. He'll be going as a senior next year and graduating next year. And then, I don't know, I probably won't see him after that. He'll probably leave here, but he's the adventurous kind. But he's young. He'll figure it out in time. But yeah, I'm going to put a compost pile here close to the garden. Let it burn down over the winter. Here, probably about September, I'll stop putting in this. And I'll make another one somewhere else. By then, I hope to have some more of this dug out and that over yonder finished up, maybe. We'll see. And that way it'll burn down over the winter. Compost good. And then this fall, after the harvest is done, I'll turn this, tiller it under real good, smooth it up. And then come early spring, I'll put that on it. And then probably turn it in with the big tractor and then tiller it up again. Good Lord's willing. But I'm gonna have to, at some point in time, I gotta get up in yonder. I got some big trees down. I got some trees dead up in here. Excuse me. And need to get them out, because I hate seeing them go to waste. And get some more of this cut off this year. So that's what it's going to be this year. Maybe you'll like it. If you don't, sorry. But I got to do it. But I will see you on the next one. We'll get into something else. Have a good one.